Good evening, guys. I'm on my way to the bus terminal to go to Kobe. I know I started the vlog very late. It's like 10 p.m. or something. And I'm a little bit early, but better be early than late and miss the bus. And I also don't know which platform I have to get on the bus and stuff. So better be early and find that out. So yeah, I'm a little bit tired, so I will sleep on the bus. So according to my phone, I should almost be there. Somewhere here. Looks very deserted. I just arrived in Kobe, where I have to go to. It didn't really stop at the train station, it just stopped at some random road. So I don't know later in the evening if I have to go back. I don't know if I can find it. So it's a little bit weird, but yeah, I think I can find it later. I hope I can. I don't know where I am, where I have to go. I have to check out later. Yeah, I'm a little bit lost right now. I have to find my way around. This is the place that I landed in, or like the bus dropped me off. I have to find like a metro station or subway station or something. Okay, I found the train station. I've arrived at the station. And it's only 3 minutes walk from here. Oh my god. Oh my god, I think I can see it. Arrived at the exhibition's place. It's super loud because of the cicadas. Like, there are cicadas everywhere. And I can already see people with their like love yourself bags and t-shirts, and I just look like this. My skirt on and pink and white. I kind of realized it's like boy with love themed, so I actually didn't intend to do that. I just realized it later. But yeah, I'm super excited. I'm like too nervous. I'm having water here now, and I'm waiting for my email to come, and yeah, until then it's gonna be too exciting. I drank my water too quickly. Now I'm afraid that I'm gonna pee myself in front of Jungkook. Oh my god. I'm still waiting for my QR code. It's supposed to come in a few minutes. I still don't know if I'm in front of the right building. I think I have to go somewhere else, but I don't know where. This is the place. Hall 1. Hall 2. I have to go to 1. My god. Oh my god, it's starting. Okay, this is it. I'm going in. Oh my god. I just met Jungkook. I shook his hand, but I was too quiet. I couldn't bring any sound out. I was talking something. I said what I wanted to say, but my voice was too loud, and everybody around me was like screaming and like screaming, but like everybody was like ah. Oh my god. And it was just like a few seconds. It wasn't even 5 seconds or something. Like I don't even know how long, but they were like pushing me out already. I was like talking, but I think he didn't hear me. He couldn't understand me. I was too quiet. Why am I too quiet? I'm always so loud. Oh my god. So it was really quick. We were like waiting for a very, very long time, and then we waited for like 1 hour or something, and then suddenly it started, and I was already inside within a few seconds, and I knew what I wanted to say and I said it, but my voice was too quiet because I was so nervous. Right now you can even hear my voice shaking. Oh my god, he was standing, he was so tall. Why is he so tall? And then I said Jungkook, and then I shook his hand, and I kept looking at him, and I said, like, let's eat kebab, but he didn't understand me. He was like, eh? He was like, eh? And then they pushed me, and I was looking at him when I went, and he was like looking, like he was like turning his head like this and looking at me. Oh my god, oh my god. And then it was over. From the beginning now, I'm sitting down, I got my water, I drank a bottle of water. I kind of feel like I was dehydrated, I was hungry, I was nervous, I was hot. And then so I was the 12th in the line. I kind of feel like I wish I was not so like not one of the first. Anyway, in front of me there was like an older woman, and she went, and then they let me in already, and he was looking at me already when I came around the corner. He was like looking at me like expectantly, like, of course it's the beginning, so they're not tired yet. And there was a desk between us. And he looked so big and unreal, like he was really tall. He was wearing like a white shirt, it was like striped, and his hair was like in the middle, like fluffy. And he was like looking at me, and then he smiled, and he looked like he was like not Jungkook, but like, you know, a little bit surprised. And then I said, hey Jungkook. I said that. I don't know, I think he said nothing. I don't know, maybe he was, I feel like he was he shocked? I don't know. Was he more shocked than I was? I don't think so. He was just like smiling, and then I said something to him, and he was like looking at me smiling, and he didn't understand me because my voice was so quiet. And then they started pushing me, and then he was like, and then they pushed me, and he was like looking at me, like until I turned the corner. He was like looking at me like this, like on the side of his eyes. Oh my god. It was so quick. It was so quick. Why is it so quick? Oh my goodness. This is crazy. I wish they would allow less people in, so that people would have more time, and they would also like, I think it's too much for them too to see so many people and shake so many hands. And his hands were quite big and soft. It was actually a little bit like, not skinny, like he doesn't have skinny hands, kind of like a little bit meaty. Oh my god, it was this hand. I can't believe it. I just can't believe it. But it was so quick, it was super quick. You don't really have time to say anything. Like, I only had like one short sentence, and yeah, no time, they were pushing us. But still, maybe I should have sent him a flying kiss, but I was just, I don't even know if I said the sentence correctly. I think I was too nervous and my voice was too quiet. Usually I'm like a super loud person. Everybody complains about me because I'm so loud, but my voice was gone because I was so nervous, and I couldn't realize it. I couldn't realize he was standing in front of me. First I was like shocked. I was just standing, and then I said, hey Jungkook, and I shook his hand, and then I said the sentence when I was in front of him, and he was like, eh? He didn't understand me. I should have screamed, but I couldn't. I'm screaming right now, but I couldn't scream in there. I was too nervous. People are still waiting. So many people. So yeah, that was the handshake event. As you can see, I'm back at home, and I watched through my videos, and I realized that a lot of the things I said was either missing or was wrong. I was just in a state of like feeling super dizzy, and I just couldn't handle it in that moment, like right after the handshake. So I would like to explain it in detail one more time, because right after the handshake I was just not capable. I wasn't like, the whole day yesterday was like I was in a haze or something. So I was not on planet Earth. I was somewhere else. The whole day while I was walking through Kobe, I was like like this. I just couldn't believe my luck, and like I couldn't believe that I was here and Jungkook was there. Actually, in that moment, I feel like my ghost has left my body and my brain just stopped working, and I was like this human being who was not capable of interaction. Yeah, I wanna tell you everything from the beginning now. So I took the night bus from Tokyo to Kobe from Tuesday night. So Wednesday morning at like 7:30 I arrived in Kobe. I straightly went to look for a bathroom, got dressed, got my makeup, and then I took the train from Sannomiya station. There was an express to I think the station called Shiminbashi or something, which is very funny because it sounds like Jimin. So there, and it was only 3 stops, although it was supposed to be I think 6 stops or something, but because it was an express, it didn't take so long, so I got off there. So I could already see the building from the train station, and then I exited the train station, and I already saw a lot of like army, a lot of girls wearing like Love Yourself bags and BT21 stuff, and I was just there in my normal clothes. I didn't have any merchandise with me. Anyway, it was really easy to find the area. I just followed the people around me, and then you can already see the building. And then it was 9 a.m. when I arrived, and my slot was at 11:30. Yeah, 11:30 to 11:50. That was my slot. They were supposed to send me the QR code at like 9:30, and then they slowly started to like prepare everything, and some people were already like lining up, and then they announced it, like they announced something, and then everybody lined up, and I also lined up, and I was one of the first people. I swear to God, I was one of the first people to like get in, and then they slowly let us in. Like it's like those zigzag lining system, like the ones in amusement parks. And first we went to like 1, and then you always go for a while, and then you wait, and then you go further and you wait. I don't know why they do that. It was so strange. At one point I was standing under this glass roof, and the sun was shining. I was burning. At 11:36 or like 11:35 or something, they let us inside the building, and not the hall but the building, and they told us to line up in like five people in one row, and it didn't take too long there, maybe just like 10 minutes or something, and then they let us inside the hall. Oh my god. And then inside the hall you can already see like the names, and Jungkook's name was like the closest to the entrance. And then you line up. There's a woman who scans your QR code that you get at like 2 hours before, and she scans the QR code, and they look at your ID card and everything. It was so chill, like there was no problem. And then I was already walking in, I'm like, oh my god. I realized I'm like one of the first in line. I was actually scared, so I walked a little bit slower so other people could like go faster before me. I don't know why. I was scared. I didn't want to be like top 10 or like something, but I was the 12th. So there were like 11 people in front of me. I was number 12, and I was like, oh my god, I didn't expect this. We were standing there from 11:50 till, yeah, the handshake started at the handshake started almost 1 hour later, guys. 12:40 it started. I swear it was 12:40. So that was like the longest hour of my life. I swear to God, I'm not kidding. It was just insane. It was crazy. I couldn't stand anymore, but like my legs were hurting. And then they made the announcements in Japanese that it's gonna start, and everybody was like, ah! Everybody freaked out, and I was like, oh my god. And then I was stressing oh my god, I'm gonna meet Jungkook. Anyway, so I pushed my phone on record, closed my bag, and then I was already standing in front of the guy, security guy, and I was like showing my hands, and then they let in the old woman in front of me, and then the guy did this, and I waited for a few seconds, and then he said, okay. Like, he was always looking, so I think only after the person is gone, they say okay, they give you my okay so that Jungkook can get ready for me. And yeah. I turned the corner, guys. Oh my god. He was standing there. He was standing there. Very big. It seemed like he was 5 times bigger than he actually was. I don't know. And he was like, so he was kind of like sideways, and I was like there, like this is the camera is me right now, and I'm Jungkook. And he was like smiling like this, like he was smiling so happily, and his eyes were like wide, and he was smiling. And I was like, I don't know how my face looked like in that moment. I seriously don't know. I could be smiling, I could be like I could be I don't know what I did. I seriously don't know. I just know that I couldn't believe that it was me there, and I feel like the moment I saw him, my ghost left my body and I was just a shell, and my brain stopped working, or maybe my brain exploded, I don't know. But for a moment I was actually scared. I was scared because he was real. So it's not that this is not the first time that I'm seeing BTS. I saw them in concert last year in November, but there's a difference between seeing them live on a stage and then seeing them out of this stage concept in like a random hall, just standing, not dancing, not singing, not performing, just standing there smiling at you like a stranger on the street, basically. And for me, if they are performing, they are different. They have different characters when they perform. And also my seats, like I didn't have closed seats, so I could just see them small like this. I swear, like I'm not kidding. From my seat, they were just like small little dolls. And still, like in the concert, it still feels like you're watching them through something, and it's not like real life still. And you know, it's them, it's like they are there, they're performing, but as I said, it's a performance. It's not them being real human beings. And then in such an event like a handshake event or fan sign or fan meeting, anything like that, you can see them just how they normally are. And that really, like in that moment, all these thoughts just instantly went through my brain, and for like 1 or 2 seconds I was just standing there and I was like this, like I don't know what I did actually, I don't know, but I was just like frozen for 1 or 2 seconds, just standing there like this. I don't know. And then I braced myself and I walked towards him, because when I turned the corner I was like like this at the beginning, like oh, I don't know what I did actually. I don't know what sounds I made. I don't know if I smiled, if I was scared, if I was shocked. But then I braced myself. I'm like, okay, I don't have much time and I don't want him to like kick me out before me actually saying anything or touching him, like touching his hand. And then I went towards him. I said, Jungkook! Actually, I don't even said hi. I think I just said Jungkook! Like, what? I don't think I said hi, actually. I listened to the recording, and you can hear the recording now. I will put the recording here now. So yeah, as you can hear, I just said Jungkook. I think Jungkook, and like in this tone, Jungkook. And all this time, he was just looking in my eyes. When I said Jungkook, he didn't say my name. He didn't, because he didn't look anywhere else. He didn't look on my name tag. I made a name tag and it was like right here, basically. It was right here. I stuck it on my bag, and maybe he couldn't read it. Was my handwriting bad? Or maybe my name was difficult? Or maybe he was just, maybe he was also shook. he kind of had a shook face. He had a shook expression on his face, like his eyes were very big, like, and he had the same smile the whole time, and his eyes were also kind of like same like smile. He had like a teethy rabbit smile. Do you know which one I mean? Like his typical teethy smile, like big mouth, big smile. And oh yeah, so I saw him, right? Okay, so his hair was split. His hair was split, like fluffy, like the hairstyle he had, you know, just recently, which is, in my opinion, the best hairstyle he has ever had. I swear to God. I also liked his hairstyle at Mic Drop, but this hairstyle is something else. He should always have this kind of hair, like long hair. Jungkook, please don't ever cut your hair. Never ever cut your hair. And then he was wearing a white, kind of like an oversized shirt with vertical gray lines, and he was basically shining. Like, this outfit made it even more shiny. Like, he was shining, and his face was shining. Everything, he was bright. He was as bright as the stars, or as I said to my friend, he was shining as bright as a summer sky. I don't know why I said anything. I don't know why I said that. It's so weird, but it's true. He was like radiating, like, you know, in animes when there's like a prince or like the handsome boy, and then there's like kira kira, ling 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 ling. That's how he looked, like shining bright. So yeah. And he kept on staring in my eyes, like he never broke eye contact with me, never, not even for 1 second. He always eye contact with me. He never looked anywhere else. He didn't look me up and down. He didn't look on my name tag. He didn't look at the security guys. He didn't look anywhere. And always smiling. So I said, Jungkook! And I grabbed his hand, and then I was shaking it, and his hand was so big. Also, he was really tall. I think I said it already, but he was really tall. I didn't know he was so tall. I was like, how tall is RM then? He's probably a freaking giant. But yeah, his hand was so soft and big. It literally, like, for a girl, I have to say, for a girl, my hand is not as small. Like, I have long fingers, but my hand vanished in his palm. I don't know, but I could feel how soft his hands were, kind of like pillowy, like it was like chubby, maybe a little bit a little bit like chubby but soft, and yeah, very big. And then I shook his hand, and then I wanted to say the sentence gachi kebab moguro gaja. So as you can see, I can say the sentence, I can still say it now. There was like no problem with me memorizing it or pronouncing it, but in that moment, because I was so nervous, guys, he was standing in front of me. He was real, and I just touched his hand. I wish I said it before touching him. I feel like maybe that made my brain go dead. Anyway, after I was shaking his hand, I was like blah, 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 blah. As you can see in the audio, like you can, I think, hear it a little bit if you really listen to it clearly. It just sounds like a different language. It doesn't sound like I'm speaking Korean. And maybe that's why he didn't understand me. I don't know if he realized that I was trying to speak Korean, or maybe he thought I was speaking my own weird language that I made up. And I guess he was confused because, okay, he's in Japan, so he expects to speak Japanese with most people. Maybe Korean if they can, but I think he expects Japanese, and I think his Japanese is not the best, so I guess he was a little bit nervous maybe. And then a foreigner comes, and he probably was expecting me to speak English, and he practiced English before. His English is actually quite good. I wish I said it in English, but I just wanted to be polite, and I wanted to say something in Korean because it's his own language and stuff, you know what I mean? So I just blurbed it out, and even I couldn't understand, like even I couldn't understand myself. I'm like, oh fuck, oh damn, what the hell did I just say? I don't know, I couldn't understand myself. And I blurbed out my sentence, gaja blah 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 something, and then he was like, and then he was like, hmm? like this, exactly like that. So we were still like, I was still shaking his hand, but the shaking has, I think, stopped. So, I was still holding on to his hand while I said the sentence, and then he was like, okay, wait. He was like looking at me like this, and then I said the sentence, and like, So he said, but of course you can't hear it because it was a very like quaint, like only I could hear it. And then he turned his ear like this. He was still looking in my eyes from like the side. I sort of got side look, like corner eye. Jungkook is like something else. And then he said, and he went back to like his teethy smile again, and he was still looking at me. He came a little bit close, he leaned in a little bit closer with his ear as well. And then he was still like looking at me, and my brain just like, shit, I messed it up. And I took a breath because I wanted to like start saying something else. Maybe, I think I wanted to say it in English, but then the security guy was like pushing on my shoulder already, and I was like, and still looking at him. He was looking at me while the security guy pushed me, and I could kind of see in his eyes that he kind of wanted to say, I'm sorry, or like, it's not his fault, like, it's not his fault that the security guy was pushing me, but I could see in his eye that he was like, I'm sorry I couldn't understand you, or like, I'm sorry that this is going so fast. But until the very last moment, he was keeping eye contact with me. And the security guy was pushing me, and I was like looking at him, and like, so this is Jungkook, here's the wall, and the security guy was pushing me towards the wall, and I was like looking at him, and I was still looking at him, and he was so, oh wait, okay, I'm Jungkook, you are me, the camera is me, so I'm going, and Jungkook was like, so like this. And he was like, from the corner of his eyes, was still like looking at me like this and like smiling. I don't know. From the corner of his eyes, he was like, if you want to imagine like the way he looked at me from the corner of his eyes, like until I was like dragged out, it was kind of similar to the scene at the end of Boy With Love when he's like turn around and like, I mean without the hand of course, and then the smile. Oh my goodness, guys, I swear, I didn't expect it to be like this. I expected other things. I expected me to be more talkative, me not making any mistakes speaking. I was speaking too loud. It was not like, before I said I was speaking too quietly. No, I was not quiet. That would be very weird if I was quiet. I can't be quiet. I was just, I think, because I was nervous, and my voice was kind of like a breath, but it was still loud. It was still my normal voice, which is normally a little bit louder than other people's voices. But like, because I was nervous, my words came out more like a breath, and maybe that's why I thought I was quiet, but I was actually not quiet. I was just talking too fast, and he didn't understand, and he was still, yeah, he still kept eye contact all this time. He didn't look anywhere else. He just looked in my face, in my eyes, and I couldn't keep my eyes off him either. I was just looking at him while I said a sentence. Like, I feel like I had this kind of face all the time. Like all the time, blinking and just looking like a lost animal. And he just had this kindest smile, and I think he was kind of Jungkook at the first moment when he saw me, as well as I was shook as well when I saw him. He didn't say anything. He didn't even say hello. He didn't say my name. What was wrong? Like, was I too intimidating? Was I don't know what was wrong, but he just kept looking in my face. He was like looking at me all the time, smiling, and then the only thing that he said was, And then, yeah, when I was pushed back, he was like, and then, like, no, he didn't make that sound, but he was like, looking at me still in my eyes, and I was looking at him, and then I was pushed back, and he looked at me from the corner of his eyes. From the corner of his eyes, and I was still looking at him until the wall was separating us. And I was holding onto his hand until the very I mean, not like this, not like this, but like when a security guy like pushed me back, I let go of his hand, of course, and then from the corner of his eyes he was like looking at me like this. So I go, and he was not smiling. But at the end he still had like this shook face, even more when I saw it from the corner. I don't know how to explain it, but all this time he looked very shook, and he didn't say a word. His eyes were very big, and his smile was always there, and he always kept eye contact with me, always. He never broke it. That's what I wanted to say. So yeah, in the end, if I have to make like a summary, I think it was totally worth it. Buying all the albums and going all the way to Kobe was so worth it. It's just literally, it's just a few seconds, but you get to meet someone amazing like that you really love. And I think it's really rare. If you get an opportunity like this, you have to grab it, I think. Anyway, that's what I wanted to say about this. I hope you liked my video, and I hope it was not too nerve-wracking for you either, or annoying to watch my confused self being like swooning over Jungkook. But that's just natural, I think, if you're a fangirl. And yeah, I hope you liked the video, and if you did, then let me know, or like leave me comments about your opinion. Have you ever met anyone from BTS? How was it? And did you have similar experiences? I would like to know, because I really want to know. I was also like reading on Twitter all the like experiences from other fans. It's really interesting to read those. I really like it. So, anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. Also, Jungkook, in case you see this video, I just wanted to ask you if you want to eat kebab with me. So yeah, I hope you see it, and then maybe one day we can eat kebab together, and with Sugar, and with the others as well. Anyway, that's what I wanted to say. Of course, Jungkook is never gonna watch this video, but yeah, thank you for watching, and see you in the next video. Bye.